Welcome to the Million Vegan Grandmothers podcast.
I'm so glad to be here.
Yay. And I have Linda Middlesworth, and she is the vegan mentor. And Linda and her husband, her late husband, also started VDog, a vegan dog food company, and now her son runs it. And Linda teaches people how to be really successful on a vegan diet, on a whole food vegan diet. And look at this woman. She is 80 years old. She's an elder. She's part of our grandmother community, and she's rocking it. Linda was just telling me that she still teaches aerobics, and she's just on top of it. So Linda, take it away. We're just going to talk today openly, have a discussion. It's Saturday afternoon. We're just going to get our Saturday jam on.
No problem. I'd like to do that. I love to talk about veganism.
Hey,
my favorite subject in the world.
Awesome.
And as you know, a lot of people don't like you talking about it because they get turned off by the word vegan, right? They hear the word vegan, they go, not for me, right? So I'm used to that, Noah, after 35 years. But I still talk about it.
A vegan mentor. So
Pardon me?
what does it mean? What does your brand mean, vegan mentor? What does that mean out in the world?
And what it means is I'm a coach. I'm a vegan mentor coach. I put on a 30-day program and I coach people individually, usually about 10 people a month. And then I also put on group coaching, which is every other month, which means 10 people in the group. And we do Zoom calls together and get to know each other and support each other a little bit. And then I also do daily food logs with everybody, each person, because I want to see if they understood what I taught them. I give them some guidelines and some recipes and some do's and don'ts on my program. And a lot of people like me, when they first start out, they have trouble figuring out which is whole foods and which is processed foods, and which ones don't exactly help them. Yes, it's better than eating animal products, but it's not always healthy for us. You know, things like the Beyond Burger are almost as bad as eating meat. And also, it's less cruel, so that's good. But I mean, it's not cruel to animals, which is a good thing. But then a lot of people have no idea that oil is more harmful to your arteries than any animal product. A lot of people have no idea about that. And Dr. John McDougall has all the research on that to show you. It's why I couldn't really get rid of my heart disease in the beginning, because in the beginning I was eating oil, I was eating salt and sugar, I was eating a lot of processed vegan food, which was good for the animals, but not so good for me, the animal. I was still hurting and still keeping the extra weight on, because when I started long ago, 35 years ago, I had almost 55 pounds extra. I had severe heart disease. I'm talking 358 total cholesterol. I had pre-diabetes. And my doctor even then told me, you know, Linda, you're going to die of your heart disease before your cancer, because I had cancer. And he didn't even know anything about plant eating, but he knew I was going to die first of that. I was in such bad, severe heart disease going on. And as I said, I was still eating oil, so that wasn't helping anything for my own body. And right a couple of years before that, when I was still eating all the animal products, I had a big lump about the size of a golf ball in my left breast. And he took it out. And when it got done, I said, you know, why do I have this lump? I don't understand it. And he said, oh, it just happens to people. And I said, is it my food? And he said, no, your food's fine. I told him I eat a little bit of chicken and fish and yogurt and cheese and ice cream and eggs. And he said, oh, that's fine. Because as you know, doctors unfortunately aren't getting nutrition advice in their 4 years of medical school. The only way they get it is if they go beyond their degree and go get the American College of Lifestyle Medicine degree, which is beyond their medical degree. Then they learn how to eat properly, how to tell their clients how to eat properly. So my own doctor right now went ahead of his degree and got the American College of Lifestyle Medicine degree, and we can talk together now. My old doctor, I used to go visit him once a year just to check on him because he was still eating fish and I was worried about him. So he said, "Why are you here, Linda? Your numbers are great." I said, "I'm checking on you, doc." And he just didn't want to get it. He was Japanese descent, and that's what they eat, fish. So he didn't want to get it. I hope he's okay. I haven't seen him for years. I hope he's okay because I moved over to this other doctor. So anyway, the Vegan Mentor program is really wonderful and I'm really enjoying it.
So you became vegan at 45 and you had heart disease and
I
you
think I
had,
was 44 actually.
wow,
My math might be off.
amazing. So you healed your heart disease, you've healed all kinds of body pain, inflammation. And do you feel you turned on your anti-aging genes? Because it sure looks like it to me.
Oh, a lot of my friends aren't doing too well. A lot of them are quite overweight at the same age as myself, but they don't want to know anything. So you have to keep your mouth shut, right? But I'd like to help them, but it's very hard. I try to get people to watch one movie to start. It's called What the Health. I like that one a lot. I used to say Forks Over Knives, but now I want to do them both or one of them at least. And so that really helps people get the big picture if they're not quite there yet, or if they're not there at all. So I like that movie as a starter point. And then I tell them, after you watch the movie, then write to me and I'll tell you the next steps. So I try to meet them where they are and get them going.
So you get them started with the documentary, then they contact you and get their further program as a vegan mentor, 30-day program to really high energize their themselves and to understand, eating this way can be quite easy. So how do you see the million vegan grandmothers, the grandmothers coming forth, all of us grandmothers coming forth?
I think it's so fabulous because it's rare that grandmothers understand this concept at all. Most of the grandmas I know, they say, "I'm fine, Linda. Look, I'm this old already. I'm gonna live till I live. And if I die early, I don't care." Right? They just think it's okay to die early because Americans are the sickest country in the world. And so people do die early in our country. And people have come to accept that as the natural order of things. And they don't understand that you don't have to die early like that. In most cases, I'm not saying in every case, but in most cases, people are dying early. But I think it's wonderful that grandmas who are getting the concept are coming together and taking action. After all, we're the people with the wisdom. And so we can pass it on.
We sure can. And in many cultures, the grandmothers were held in very high esteem.
Yes.
Yes. And, I was interviewing on the podcast, Dr. Will Tuttle, a while back, and he said, that one of the problems is a lot of the elders have lost their innate wisdom. So people don't look to the elders anymore for wisdom. And so the grandmothers, the vegan grandmothers are coming forth to say, hey, there's lots of us wise ones left.
Exactly.
We have the answers to human and earth and animal liberation.
Exactly. Well, Dr. Will Tuttle was very inspiring to me years ago. I used to listen to his sound on his books all the time just to be inspired about why I'm doing what I'm doing. So I thought he was very helpful that way. Yeah.
So tell me how VDog got started, a vegan dog food company in a world where everyone thinks dogs need to be carnivores, and how often dogs, I have a friend who's had dogs he's been a vegan for 50 years. And he said that the vets were always saying, you can't feed your dog just vegan dog food. Your dog's going to be sick. And his dogs live longer than any other dogs. They didn't have arthritis. They didn't have any of the issues with inflammation. So tell us how VDog got started.
Well, and think of the antibiotics and all the medical things they put into animals' feed. And they don't take the best meats to give your dog in the meat dog food. They take the scum, the stuff that's left over, the hair and the eyes and the nose and the fecal matter and things like that, and put that in your dog food. Think of that. being the basis of the meat dog food, and the fish nobody can sell to humans. All the scraps in the bottom are scooped up with the fecal matter there too, and put in the dog food. So your chances of your dog getting sick from that are pretty great, even though they are omnivores, so they can eat meat. But because they're omnivores and they've been evolving over thousands of years, they now have an extra enzyme that allows them to digest starch, which they didn't, like wolves couldn't do, but they can. And that's what we found out by doing all the research before we started in 2005. My husband did an amazing amount of research. So we decided, okay, we're going to do this. And we just had a study recently done, not us, but somebody else did a study, and they included our dog food in it. And they came out on top. We came out on top for the success of a plant-based diet for dogs. So it's very nice. I'll send you the link sometime so you can see that. But it's wonderful to have that behind us now. And also, most of our dogs are living longer than most dogs. They're not getting all the diseases and everything that other dogs get, and the arthritis and things like that. So it's wonderful on so many counts, and they like the dog food. And we just came out just a couple weeks ago with a wet food that's in a canned wet food. So it's for puppies and all ages, and it's very popular already. And we came out with a new wiggle biscuit. Our other biscuit was a little hard, but this one's soft and chewy, and they seem to really like that one too. But so my husband and I, we thought, well, I didn't know dogs could be plant-based. I did not know that, and he didn't either. But after the research, we realized they could. So I think we were one of the very first vegan dog foods in 2005. And so we put it together, and we made sure everybody liked it before we went out with it, and they do like it. And it's really amazing. So, and then somebody in England, unfortunately, right before my husband died, he fell on a mountain hiking, but in Montana, Glacier, Montana. But before he died, somebody from England called him, and this was a big mistake on his part. And they said, "Oh, we really like your name, V-Dog. Can we use it?" He said, "Oh, sure, go ahead." We were not in England. Well, now they have a bad dog food with the same name in England and different places. So we had to change the name of our V-Dog. When it's outside the country, it's called V-Planet, v-planet.com. So if you go to Thailand, if you go to Hong Kong, you'll find V-Planet. Australia. We're in about 8 or 9 countries.
Are you in Canada yet? I haven't seen your food in Canada yet.
I don't think we're in Canada yet. Still working on that.
Canada.
Yeah, we do. We do. We definitely do. And so we're still working on Europe too. There's a lot of hurdles to pass to get it over there. So we're working on it though. But we're in about 8 or 9 countries, so that's good. And then as V-Planet, and then the USA is called v-dog.com. And doing very well, and people are loving it. The dogs are living longer. They're like, my dogs live way older, even though one of them's a big dog, or I've had big dogs who live for a long, long time, longer you're supposed to. So yeah, I've seen it up close and personal, and it's just working really well. And my son, who took it over for me, he's the CEO and the president. His name's Darren Middlesworth, and he's doing a great job. Thank goodness he could take it over. I don't think I could run the company by myself. So it was a lifesaver for us to take over the company. So, and he lives in San Francisco. So, and he's about to turn 57 or 6, one of those two. So, anyway, he's getting to be an old guy now too.
So what would you say to all the listeners that besides our vegan whole food, no salt, oil, sugar diet, what would you say is one of the most healthy lifestyle things for healthy longevity?
Well, you mean despite the SOS or? Well, unfortunately, to be the optimal health, we do have to take out the salt, the oil, and the sugar, especially the oil, because a lot of people don't know oil is worse for your arteries than beef. Your arteries do not like oil. It's a totally processed food. It's heated up, it's extracted out of the whole food, and it's that unhealthy. It knows how to clog up your arteries. What the oil does is take the nitric oxide out of the middle of your artery, removes it. And it also destroys the endothelial cells that are lining your artery, and plaque forms. And then your arteries start to constrict. And now you have high blood pressure and serious problem for stroke or heart attack. And so you don't want that. So that's what oils do. So that's why I don't find a way. You could probably get away with a little salt and sugar, but the oil is the thing that really, really means you're getting healthy. So that's why I help people for sure do the oil. But and also to eat food as nature intended in its whole form.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I have pancakes sometimes, but I'm just saying I also make a healthy cookie out of whole rolled oats with applesauce and bananas and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
And so, and dates to make it sweet. And that's, I consider whole food. So there are ways to make fun food seem like it's processed, but it's not. And I think that's key to learn how to have those foods you enjoyed before you became vegan. I know 35 years ago when my neighbor told me, Linda, you have to give up the cheese. I said to her, hey, look, I can give up my meat, because I told her how sick I was, right? I can give up the meat any day, but don't you dare tell me to give up my cheese. And what I didn't know at the time was that cheese is very, very addictive. It is as addictive as cocaine.
Case and morphine.
Casomorphine. It makes the baby cow come back to the mother. And when we eat it, even in concentrated form, even more casomorphine casing, we take it in and I couldn't walk by the refrigerator without grabbing a piece of cheese or having a big dish of ice cream, because I was so addicted. And that's, I'm sure, was the dairy. Dairy is, according to Dr. T. Colin Campbell, my hero. He's the kind of the godfather behind our movement with all the research he did at Cornell University and MIT. He found out that cancer is our most powerful carcinogen when we have dairy. A lot of people think it's beef or something, or chicken even, but it's the dairy that causes mostly the cancers we have. And it's usually the hormonal cancers like ovarian, prostate, and what else? And breast cancer. Those are your cheese eaters. Those are your ice cream eaters, your yogurt eaters. I thought yogurt was so healthy.
Right.
Yogurt and pineapple, I had that every day. It was giving me cancer and I didn't know it. So yeah, I think it's real important that people know about that too. So
And one of the other lifestyle pieces in this is exercise, because that helps, reduce your stress hormones. It helps, build healthy tissue. And it also helps us, curb our cravings for things that are unhealthy, because a lot of times people emotionally eat. And so when we exercise, and the other piece to this is meditation and quieting our mind, bringing our awareness to our breath. It's such a huge part, because stress is a very large part of aging in a really inflammatory way. Would you say? So the food, exercise, meditation.
well, when my clients come with me, they have to also include their exercise log, because I'm an aerobic instructor still. I've been doing that for 30 years, and I'm the oldest instructor in about 10 gyms, and I love it. And I almost got cut off during COVID because my gym was going to go down, but unfortunately I'm still there. Don't have as many classes anymore, but because of COVID, but I'm still there. And I'm so enjoying it because I know it builds your immune system and it keeps your bones strong. And it is so important to have resistance training as well as cardio. We have to do both. We can't do one or the other, or just once a week. We have to do something cardio every day. So I have my clients at least walk every day if they can't do anything else. And I have them do a minimum of 2 days a week of resistance training. And I give them videos to show them which ones to do. They can do it with bands or weights, but having resistance training is key for us to be healthy. And then having a quiet time, like you said, sometimes I have to just sit with myself and keep into my own thoughts and try to take deep breaths. So, because I can get real excited about some things and stressed about other things, and that really helps too. So I encourage that as well. But it's so important to have all three, the food, the exercise, and the meditation. Yeah, they need to go together. And because I think the older I get, it's even harder if you don't really concentrate on it. Yeah, I do.
That's perfect. And it's also gets easier because you get, more flexible. I interviewed Dr. Gabriel Cousins a while ago, and he's 80 years old and he can do like 1,200 to 2,000 consecutive push-ups and, turning 80 this year. He said, no, don't believe them that you're going to get older. You're going to get actually more flexible because you've used your muscles for longer. So yeah, the meditation muscle, all the other muscles going on in our ability to sit and concentrate and breathe and keep our presence.
Exactly.
So as we wrap up here today, I wonder if you could give me a little glimpse into two of your most special mentors in your life, in the vegan world.
Well, Dr. T. Colin Campbell has been, and on the animal side, animal suffering side, because I'm also an animal rights activist as well. A lot of people don't want to do that, especially at my age. I'm the oldest one getting arrested. I get arrested. When I was 76, I went to prison for holding a sign saying ban factory farms, right? So you have to find your purpose. You may not want to do that, but I found my purpose. And so one of my heroes in life is Philip Wollen. Have you heard of him? Yeah, Philip Wollen's a dear friend of mine. We talk about, I don't know, once a week, and he's my mentor. And if you get a chance to listen to his 10-minute speech, international speech he gave, which he won the award for his speech, standing ovation. It's called Get the Animals Off the Menu. And I listen to it like once a month just to inspire myself again about why I'm doing this and why I care. And he's the most profound speaker. His words links together like in the most beautiful fashion. And then on the health side, Dr. John McDougall is the one who saved my life. If I hadn't found him, I would have been dead 35 years ago. I was on my way out the door. But my neighbor told me about him, and I didn't even meet the man. I just read his book, changed my lifestyle, and went on from there to be a healthy human. And so those three, Dr. Campbell, Dr. T. Colin Campbell, whose research is impeccable. And I hope that someone will read his latest book. Well, Whole was one of his big books. He sold 333 million copies. So if you can read the China Study and Whole, and then the latest book is really good, called The Future of Medicine. And it's really shocking how he found out long time ago by researchers that eating a whole food plant diet would give you your health and you wouldn't have to use all the drugs and surgeries, but they squelched them because no one makes money if everybody is not sick. The hospitals, the medical system, and even other researchers completely quieted those people. And it is shocking to me that they knew so long ago that they had a system to change our health by a whole food plant diet. And to this day, I'm a proud member of his board, the Center for Nutritional Studies. I'm the only non-doctor on the board. I'm so excited about that. And I'm going to be the liaison And I'll be contacting the grandmothers for this too, because I want you to know everything going on with his group. They're doing amazing things. And then, of course, Dr. John McDougall, if anybody's really sick and really needs help, you can start with me. But if it's really bad, you can go to the 12-day program with Dr. John McDougall. He will straighten you out. Yeah. And then, of course, Philip will, if you can just watch that 1 10-minute video, it is so worth it. You'll be so glad you did. Even if you're not into the animal part, that's okay. His profound speech, he calls the animals in the factory farms in gulags of despair. And then he also has another saying I love. He says, a dog is a pig, is a bear, is a boy. And so those are my inspiring people the most. Really, they inspire me the most. So, but I love, my purpose is all three, to do all of it. So I'm hoping that I can help more people. I've helped a lot of people already, and I hope to continue helping people understand all this and get healthy again and be alive and vibrant at 79 like I am. So thank you so much for having me be a part of Grandmothers. I'm definitely going to be listening in and joining in with you.
Great.
Thank
Well,
you
Linda, you are my mentor today. I'm telling you. Thank you so much for being such a trailblazer, a vegan mentor for so many people in the world, and looking forward to chatting with you soon.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it, Tammy.
Thank you, Linda.